Welcome back to Central North Carolina for another video here at my lawn. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for the support of the last couple videos where we've been talking about seed here on my channel lately. We've talked about GCI seed, comparing some of their blends. Also talked about Jonathan Green last time. And I got so many comments from the Jonathan Green video about a particular type that I mentioned in the description, but I didn't mention in the video. I want to specifically take a little time to talk about that, especially because of the location where I am and where several of you are, that this seed may be of interest to you, and it's actually my lawn, and I failed to really talk about it in specific. So we'll talk about that, but before that, let's take a look at my lawn. I just want to show you guys what my lawn is looking like this summer to document that, get that on film, to show you what this August is looking like for Mr. Ferguson's lawn. So before we get into more seed, let's look at the lawn. So for just a minute, I want to show you guys where my lawn's at right now, the condition of it. What are we struggling with? Clearly, the last several videos, we haven't shown you the lawn, my lawn, or talked about anything specific, so you would assume everything's going well, and you would be right. The last thing I mentioned to you guys is I did put down an application. I did some CK, I did some RGS, I did a little bit of 505, and I did the rest of my Armada fungicide. And everything, as you can tell, I'm staying on top of my watering. This is the area for any new subscribers. This is the area of my lawn that I did overseed last year. Some of this is seed that's 2 years old. Some of this is seed that we did last fall that is Triple Threat blend. It's a local North Carolina blend in Wake County, and everything's looking great. For summer, I'm keeping it long, as you may be able to tell. It is definitely at least 4.5 inches tall, maybe 5. I'm trying not to cut it as long as possible, but obviously we don't want to keep it too long and trap moisture and cause fungus. But I think keeping it at this height is it looks better. And when I cut, you know, it browns up, it stresses it out a little bit, so I'm trying to stay off of it the best I can. I do see a little bit of Bermuda here and there. It's actually really tough to find on camera. Like right here, you can see some, like right in here, like, you know, here's some Bermuda type stuff that is creeping in a little bit. You see some like right here creeping in. It's hard to pick out, but there is some in here. I'm not really doing anything right now because it's not taking over in large patches. Could that be a problem? Sure. I'm keeping my eye on it. The backyard is similar, so we won't go back there. You guys know my trouble spots. The bank is mostly my trouble spots. Everything else is we're in the morning here. You can tell looks good. I just watered some yesterday, day before. And as I just pan over here and just show you, everything is looking phenomenal. Again, it's wet. We're keeping on top of our watering. I did want to mention, there is a very cool, very awesome video by Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Go check it out. He did some experiments with grass plugs, putting them in some sand buckets. He applied Humic 12, RGS, CK, Starter Fert, 4-Play, Hydratane, and he wanted to see 3 weeks later, he washes out all the sand, and how does the roots look of each of those products being added? One control being just water. Fascinating video. Link in the description below so people can check that out if they haven't seen it. I think it proves adding these types of biostimulants to your lawn, it doesn't necessarily always show visually on the top, but in the ground, your roots are being impacted by biostimulants. So just quickly wanted to show you guys my lawn. It's doing well. So without further ado, let's get into a specific blend we planted in this front yard that you've been seeing here that I failed to mention that I want to talk to you about that's changed since last year. Let's talk about it. All right, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Before we get into this seed description, discussion, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you to all who are. Thank you for all who are channel members. If I start naming names, I always screw it up, but check out channel memberships. But thank you. Subscribe if you're not. So what I wanted to mention that I didn't mention in the last video that I got several people asking me about because we didn't specifically talk about this seed blend is Jonathan Green. Let me stand to the side again. Jonathan Green heat and drought resistant seed. So this is a grass blend, as we'll talk about in a second. I'm going to put some stuff up over here that I have put in my lawn, but formerly it's called Jonathan Green Solar Green. Don't know why they changed the name, but I had a little bit of that left over last year. And with my Triple Threat blend, that's a local North Carolina blend of seed. I mix that with a very small amount of the Jonathan Green Solar Green, and that's what's in my front yard that you were just looking at. So it is a blend of GCI turf type tall fescue. It's a blend of triple threat local North Carolina seed fescue, and it's also a blend of Jonathan Green Solar Green, which I've actually seeded twice, mainly on the bank because the bank is where it's one of my trouble spots and stresses out. And specifically the heat and drought, or Jonathan Green Solar Green, which we're going to for now on call Jonathan Green Heat and Drought because that's what it is a blend of Texas bluegrass and tall fescue that is formulated for heat and drought. So the first slide I'm going to throw over here is this bag. I'm not sure which one it is. It looks like this is the 3-pound bag of the heat and drought mix. It says our most heat tolerant grass seed mixture can withstand heat up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Even today, it's morning as I filmed this video, but today our heat index here in central North Carolina is going to be 110. Now, I heard somebody recently say, how do they calculate the heat index? I have no idea. They probably make it up. But we're basically, point being, we're going to be in the mid-90s in August, in mid-August. We didn't have this last August, but we have it this August. It gets hot and it gets humid and it gets nasty. So this is the seed. If you're looking for that seed out there, and there's several because you messaged me in the comments, if you're looking for a seed, what is the best seed for hot temperatures, but I want fescue, this is one option that would suit you. Moving on. Premium mixture of tall fescues and Texas bluegrass, ideal for lawns in the transition zone, obviously North Carolina and South. Grows naturally dark green, drought resistant, and highly durable lawns. Grows well in both sunny and or shady areas. Germinates in 14 to 21 days. Remember, it's Texas bluegrass. It's not Kentucky bluegrass. Totally different. So it takes as long to grow. That's why they put 14 to 21 days there. You're talking about a bluegrass variety cultivar. So it does take that whole 2 weeks to grow it in, but it's a Texas bluegrass, meaning it is supposed to be needing less water and being able to take more heat than Kentucky bluegrass. Next slide here, I just wanted to show you and read to you real fast the description without Mr. Ferguson stopping and explaining it like I do my devotions with my kids.
Jonathan Green Black Beauty Heat and Drought Resistant Grass Seed Mixture is our most heat and drought tolerant grass seed mixture yet. It contains Texas Bluegrass and Black Beauty Turf Type Tall Fescues, which makes it perfect for lawns. Sorry, I don't want to get the phone all up in the screen there. Which makes it perfect for lawns located in the transition zone. Black Beauty heat and drought resistant seed or drought grass seed can withstand very hot temperatures up to 100 degrees and requires less maintenance than other grass types. This mixture will produce a dark green, heat resistant, highly durable lawn, making it ideal for lawns located in Southern California, Northern Texas, Tennessee, and North Carolina, or anywhere along the transition zone. It grows in both sunny and or shade areas like our other Black Beauty varieties. Black Beauty heat and drought premium grass seed mixture can grow roots up to 4 feet deep. Contains a very waxy leaf coating to preserve moisture and displays a uniform, not clumpy, growth habit, and naturally withstands insects and diseases.
So there you go, straight from Jonathan Green, that this is ideal for transition zone fescue, specifically modified for our climate here where I'm at. You guys up in Pennsylvania, you guys may hit 100 like what, once every couple of years, maybe. I don't know. I don't know your temperature. I don't look it up, but this is more northern Texas, Southern California, North Carolina, maybe South Carolina, northern Georgia. This is where you can still have a fescue, still have a Texas bluegrass blend type seed, but it's modified to be able to take the heat, require less maintenance, meaning less water. I think they've taken out less water and just replaced that with less maintenance. So here's what I want to show you. This is what we showed on the last video about the specifications about the seed. Again, it's mid-March through mid-May for recommended planting, or mid-August through mid-October. We're coming up on that fall planting season now. Dark green in color, as we talked about. Grass type is tall fescue and Texas bluegrass. Sun tolerance, excellent. Shade tolerance, good. Light requirements, full sun to partial shade. Drought tolerance, excellent. Insect and disease resistance, excellent. High traffic tolerance, excellent, meaning it can be walked on a lot even in the heat, supposedly. And planting depth, 1/4 inch, and 14 to 21 days for germination. And again, that's because you're talking about a bluegrass. You're talking about a Texas bluegrass. So it won't come up in 7 to 10 days. Don't be upset. You got to stay water for 14 to 21 days. And the last one I want to pop up right here is, this is a person that purchased it. They weren't happy with it. And I want to read this because some of you may have the exact same idea or thought, even maybe while we're watching this video. This is from Rebecca on the Jonathan Green site. She said, probably a good grass mixture, but less then 10% Texas Bluegrass. 90% of this mix is their premium tall fescue. If this info was available in the page description, I would not have purchased it. So she's saying only 90%, she's saying 90% of this bag is tall fescue, 10% is Texas Bluegrass. If I'd have known that, I'd never bought it because most of it's just regular tall fescue. So I wanted more of the Texas Bluegrass. Jonathan Green obviously responded. Here's what they said. This will answer and maybe help some of you. We are sorry for any confusion. The components of this mixture also in the description and specifications heading under add to cart box. Grass seed is listed in percentages by weight, not seed count. Texas Bluegrass seeds are about 1/3 the size of tall fescue seeds. So by seed count, this mixture is about 40% Texas Bluegrass and 60% tall fescue. FYI, when you see the word mixture on a bag of grass seed, that indicates more than one species. When you see the word blend, that indicates one species. Don't look at the bag like I'm guilty of doing as well and saying, well, this is 90% tall fescue, only 10%. Man, that's not a whole lot in there. It's like he said, Jonathan Green would know, they make the seed, right? If you really look at this in the ratio, it's 60% tall fescue, 40% Texas Bluegrass. So you're getting a lot of both. You're getting a good almost 50-50 blend there of tall fescue and Texas Bluegrass. So this is an option for those of you that are here in Central North Carolina. My dad actually went, he didn't go with Jonathan Green's Heat and Drought Mix or the Solar Green. He went with a Scott's Heat and Drought Mix, which is the exact same thing. It's engineered in the lab engineered to reduce its watering, but still help it to sustain high heat areas and transition zone southern temperatures like Texas, like they just said, Southern California. So I wanted to just highlight this a little more because this, for people in my area locally, this is something. If your grass is constantly dying off, if you're just not able to water it as much as regular tall fescue needs to be watered, if you're not able to definitely do the cool blue, let alone the tall fescue, I would go with a heat and drought option because this is going to help you, the homeowner. It doesn't need as much maintenance. It's plant it, get it established. It's going to look great in the cooler months, but when it gets hot, it's going to have a better chance to survive the summers. If you're struggling with that, that may be the seed you go to. And I'll tell you guys, and I'm hand to God, honest to God, my witness. I said last year or year before, maybe on camera, I'm not sure. I said if my tall fescue back here would have died off completely and I lost it like I did the first 2 summers I was in this, I would have replanted with Jonathan Green, Solar Green, the entire front yard over here because I was like, I need help. I keep failing. Is it my potassium? I got on potassium kick. Am I not doing enough water? What is it? And it was a watering issue, but it was also, I needed to get my potassium levels a little higher as well. CK Hydrotane Foreplay helped me out as well, but I've been able to sustain this lawn. But I always personally said, if I would have lost that lawn, I would have done the Heat and Drought Mix / Solar Green Mix. So keep that in mind. That link is in the description below. You can find that, I believe, on Amazon. You can find it on Jonathan Green. You can find it on Yard Mastery. And also we'll link that Alan Hain video to show you his experiment, which I thought was fascinating. I want to try something similar to that with maybe a different products. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Hope this has been informative. To my North Carolina, to my transition zone people, this was focused mainly for you guys. Up north, you guys are pretty good. You get the sexy, cool blue seed and Mountain View seed and all that you're mentioning. Thumbs up, you're doing great. We look forward to seeing your seeding pictures, and maybe we'll have, again, like we did last year, we'll have you guys send in your results so we can display it here on the channel. God bless you. I'm going to shut my mouth there. It's a longer video. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday. We'll see you in the next one.